If you want to continue to follow our adventure, click subscribe. So you don't miss anything, click the bell notification. I like to go through the viewer comments and share them with you, especially if there's multiple comments about the same subject. And that way everybody has the answers to the questions that maybe everybody has. One of the questions I get a lot, and I feel like I've covered this a million different ways, but even folks that have been with me for a long time have asked the same question. Why don't I stop what I'm doing, making YouTube videos and working and everything, and go and focus all my attention with Beck and Carolyn? As everybody knows, Carolyn is with Beck, her daughter, who is ill right now, and you know, she's got cancer and she's going to pass soon. So a lot of people think I should be with them. Well, here's the thing. There's a couple things. First, I just can't imagine anybody really just quitting their job and go and take care of someone. I just don't know how you would actually do that. I mean, you still got to have money. Let's just assume for a minute that Carolyn and I had a house, say, down in Florida, or wherever. You just pick your location. But let's say it's Florida and Beck is here. I guess the question is if that is the case, do both of us sell the house and move up here for 6 months until Beck passes, with neither one of us working? Of course, then we wouldn't have a job to go back to or a house. So I think what I'm trying to do is maintain a home and Carolyn take care of Beck while she's sick. The thing is, I think there's actually an advantage to what we're doing over what a normal family would have to do. If I was down in Florida, of course, I would never get to see either one of them. Maybe I could get a vacation and visit them. But here, in the camper, I can go out to the National Forest, continue to work, and do what I need to do, maintain the house. And occasionally, you know, once a week, I can go and visit both of them. So I think there's some advantages to this. So I'm not sure. I mean, I just don't know if people really understand the scope of what they're saying. Quit work and go and take care of Carolyn and Beck. I just don't know how anybody could actually really do that. Okay, another thing that's brought up a lot, since we are in Missouri, in the wintertime, we've gotten down the temperatures down to 14 degrees. And a lot of people think that I need to go and buy a better heater. And, you know, we've talked about this endlessly, all kinds of different heaters. I'm using the Coleman stove. I know it's not actually a Coleman stove, it's an off-brand, but just for simplicity's sake, I'm calling it a Coleman stove. And it's a 2-burner stove. And I put a flower pot on top of it to keep things from falling on top of it and burning the camper down. The Mr. Heater Portable Buddy, it would use a 20-pound tank every 5 days. You can't regulate the temperature. It's either high, low, or off. That's all the options were. So every 5 days you're replacing propane. Last month, like I said, it was, you know, it's gotten down to 14 degrees, and it's, you know, it's been pretty chilly. And I've only spent $25 in the last month on propane. The cost difference has been really significant. Now recognize that in the pop-up camper down in Florida, like I said, we were spending, you know, $72 or so. And here in winter in this camper with the propane Coleman stove, we've spent $25. So I'm really happy with the cost of heat. Now, if you can compare this to a house, the last winter in Missouri, I heated the house with a regular furnace, a propane furnace actually. It would cost me $150 a month. Continuing on with that subject, you know, obviously I started out this winter with a lot of worries that it was going to be very difficult to heat this camper. It was really stressful being in such cold temperatures for long periods of time. I just wasn't sure I was going to be able to do it. But, you know, it really has not been a big deal. You know, when I had the camper damage in the front, it was pretty windy one night, and it was real cold. And wind was actually coming in through that damage and cooling the place down. That was the worst night I had, and that was actually a result of damage I had. Once I sealed that hole up, it was right back to easy to heat. A lot of times I don't even turn it on because the things, you know, when it's, you know, in the 30s, the sun's shining in and different things, it warms up on its own. I mean, the blankets are reflecting the sun. And so it's done really well. At night, I'm staying very warm. So I've been really excited about how well this thing is done. Based on some of the things I've heard, this thing's doing a lot better than what a van or an RV could do. We've got several suggestions that stated that the camper, being a homemade camper, is not going to make it through this winter. And I just don't know how to beg to differ anymore. I mean, this camper has held up like a champ. The only problem I've had with it was a mistake that I made. I did not seal up the cracks well, and so I allowed water bottles to condensate without really checking on it or dealing with it, and water drained down and rotted out a piece of wood. That's the only issue I've had. It's going to need regular maintenance, just like anything needs regular maintenance. So, I'm going to have to paint it at some point. But as far as not handling this winter, it is just absolutely as tough as nails. Another thing is a lot of people suggest, and it just keeps on going down the line of, people think I need to buy a camper. They really feel like that if I don't buy a manufactured camper, that I can't be happy. I've seen Dad's camper. My dad owns a fifth wheel, and it's always got problems. And he's always dealing with these problems. And you're always dealing with the company you buy it from. You're always on the phone. I have a problem with this. I go to Lowe's, I pick up a piece of whatever, and I fix it. I did not have this thing properly insulated because I didn't expect us to be in Missouri in the wintertime. So I didn't have the insulation completed on the cab over of the camper. I figured if it ever got that cold, we put a blanket or something here where we didn't have to have it exposed. But being here in Missouri and it's always cold in the wintertime, of course, we have to have that area open. I work off the computer here. I just went ahead and finished up the installation. The other thing was the amount of condensation I was getting on the walls in the cab over also. Every morning I get up, and of course that's the roughest times because now, and I did this in my house too, but probably not to the extreme. When I went to bed at night, I would turn down the heater down to 55 degrees. As low as the thermostat would go without shutting off the heater. Well, I do the same thing here. I keep the temperature in this camper just above freezing. And so when I get up in the morning, it's a little chilly. But it only takes 2 or 3 minutes for the propane heater to heat this place up. I mean, it's quick how fast this place heats up. I just can't stress enough how proud I am of this camper. Of course, I built it, so, it might be a little biased. Thanks for watching. Like if you like the video, and happy travels.